So, this is the last presentation today, and for that I'll be brief. So, some words about me. I'm a researcher and bug hunter, and also CEO of Worm company. And now a few words about MySQL. Today we have 3 different forks of MySQL. It's original MySQL community, and right now it's an Oracle project, and this is original MySQL have 6 different editions, and this is really huge number. And when we speak about MySQL, of course, we mean community edition with open sources and others. Also, there are MariaDB. It's really popular fork, really popular, and it's an open source project. I think you know Monty, which created this project. It's one of head developers of MySQL in past, and also PeconaDB. It's other fork tuned to performance, but it's out of scope of this talk. So a few words about SQL injections. Currently, there are 2 different types of injections. Classic injection, also known as union select, which you can put interesting data from database into server responses. It's really easy to exploit it. It's really nice, but sometimes application logic don't provide that, and this case called blind, or and researchers come up different ways to exploit these blind injections, such as cast of or using origin object, like this example, when you can use different another data, such as huge lists, and you can, for example, XOR these numbers of this list by different data or something like that. Second way, it's error-based, when you can put interesting data from database into SQL errors and read it from server. It's really nice and useful way, of course. And so it's a Boolean search main way, and it's really nice to exploit anytime by Boolean search, when you can retrieve status code or different other indicator from database and make a Boolean tree to read any data what you know to know. So other ways, time-based, it's also a Boolean search method, but it's based on different delays from server. When your query consists good or another hand bad case of execution, time from this query can be huge or small. So, and the last, it's out of band way to exploit, and right now for MySQL there are only one way to do that. This is using UNC file names for Windows system, and work only for Windows, of course. When you can put data, for example, to DNS queries and read it out of band by another channel, another data channel on your server. So why OOB? Just out of band. First, it's really faster. You can read data like a classic SQL injection exploitation, but without reading the responses from server. And other, it's only one way to exploit asynchronous services. And let me talk about asynchronous services. It's look like donkey from Shrek, which periodically ask you, "Are we there yet?" And the server want to send a response with the status of this query. It's not so good idea to retrieve data, for example, by binary tree exploitation or something like that for asynchronous services. So, and right now there are two different new researches. First, it's I must to describe this first link. It's great cheat sheets, MySQL cheat sheets. First, it's Pentest Monkey, and the second is ADOT forum links, which have numbers, really huge numbers of different MySQL tricks, and useful exploitation scenarios for SQL injections. And also, the last time numbers of research also present there. It's different research which described new error-based tricks such as non-geometric tricks and big intent signed errors and JSON errors and something like that. It's really useful to exploit server-side errors and SQL errors. So, and now I'll talk about out of band for MySQL and Windows. It's first and ON's description of this kind of exploitation. You can find at this article by Miroslav Stamper. It's a really nice guy, and also author of SQL Map utility. I think you know that. And he described that file functions such as load file and also load data files can use UNC schemes to make a DNS first and SMB second queries outside from internet, and you can concatenate some interesting data such as version function output to DNS name and read it at your DNS server. It's really nice, but only one bad thing there. It's work only for Windows system. It's really bad. So let's time to read documentation and find this one. First thing that I must to describe that nice trick called load data local file based on implementation on client side. It's not when you call a SQL query load data local in file, you call your application. You not call your SQL server. And for that implementation of this function, only in the client side. For that, it's really nice to find that your client, for example, in case of PHP, PHP supports there all wrappers which PHP know, for example, HTTP, PHP expect, and others. And in case of Java, there would be Java wrappers. It's really nice, and it's document feature. You can also redefine this function for PHP. You can set local and file handler to redefine this function to do any other actions. So it's really nice, and let's time to read documentation again and find this one called different storage engines. MySQL since 5 version, and MariaDB since I think in all versions have this nice thing called storage engines. And when you create a table, you can define an engine. Engine to which we use it to describe this table and operate with this table. In case of federated engine, we can provide argument called connection with connection string. It's really nice because if you can create table, you can link this table to another database, and of course it's maybe evil.com and first domain or something other in this host can contain different data such as version or something like that, and you have out-of-band exploitation again. Also, there are different other storages such as memory and CSV. It's really nice, but it's only one way to do that in MySQL and called federated engine. So, but in MariaDB, it's most interesting because there another storage engine called Connect The storage engine provides numbers of table types. And in case of table type MySQL, you have the similar situation of this slide, but engine is connect and the table type is MySQL. You can again provide a connection string to connect your table with other hosts. It's really nice. And the most important, then this connection would be established from the database server, and in case of load data local and file, connection would be established from application server. It's maybe it's really different servers. So you also must know that Connect engine requires file privileges as well as load data file or function or into out file command, but it works and it's really nice. But this engine works only in MariaDB. But of course, you can install this shared object for community MySQL without any restrictions. So, and also MariaDB provide different other table types which supports argument called file name, and you can link local files as tables which with connect storage engines, and all of these table types supports file names. It's DOS file names, DBF names, binary files, CSV, FMT, like a CSV, but with other delimiter, and also XML, but I'm sorry, there are no XXS there, and JSON and any files, and it's really nice. You can do something like that. You can create table and link this table to local file etc path, and after that read this data. It's a other, I think, load data without local alternative for MariaDB. So a piece of cheat. After that, I found this in this documentation for MariaDB, a nice type of virtual table type called dir, which can provide you to read content of folders. It's really useful thing, and in case of real exploitation during penetration testing or something like that, it's really important to read directory structure to find different files. To read this after. So, and also if MariaDB installed on Windows, MariaDB provides also table types called MAC for retrieve different network adapter details, such as really huge number of details. It's numbers of adapter, IP addresses, gateways, IP version 6 address, and really huge number of network information. And also VMI, it's really nice. You can call different VMI classes and find different data from that using SQL. It's really hard to understand, but it's work. So this is example how you can use VMI. This is from MariaDB documentation. In case of Windows, of course, because VMI supports only in Windows system, you can link your table csprod with Connect engine to table type VMI, and after that select data from that and retrieve a caption, description, this identity number of your computer, and UID of your computer vendor version, and something like that. It's really nice. So in conclusion, I want to summarize all information about out-of-band exploitation in MySQL. In the scheme, you can see typical abstract architecture of any web application. And when you use load data or XML local, you can retrieve different files or make DNS requests from application server. In case of using UNC load file for functions like load file into out file or something like that, or new trick based on connection engines such as Federated or Connect for MariaDB, read data and make DNS requests from database servers. It really sense. So I think all my presentation can be put in this slide. That's all. Thank you. Let's time to questions.
Any questions? Come on. Looks like everything was clear and people don't have any... Oh,
yeah.
There's one.
Ivan, hi. Do you have any demonstration of VMI, POC VMI?
So I think all POCs and at the slides, this is documentation proof of concept, and this is a screenshot of of proof of concept. If you want to connect this one to real vulnerability, no, I have now this POC, and I think it's most important that I can embed these tricks to, for example, SQL map. I want to ask Miroslav to do that today, and maybe it's most useful. And proof of concept, I think, not so deal there. Sometimes techniques is more important than only one proof of concept for one system.
Okay, I understand.
Yep.
Thank you.
By the way, any ideas why database manufacturers implement such functionality? Do you have any ideas why the database vendors implement such functionality? Because it looks like a little bit strange for databases.
Yeah, I know. So federated engine is first step to make a cluster, and for that it's really nice to connect different tables from different shards using federated engine. It's really nice, and it's used for example, Mysql cluster servers. Its main function when there's no way to make a MySQL cluster without that, and it's only because MySQL supports clustering. And regards Connect engine, I think it's MariaDB idea to make your database more useful for you, and maybe it's nice because in MariaDB you have MySQL table type for Connect engine, and also ODBC. It's really nice because you can connect MariaDB tables with data with other tables from other database. For example, you can use MariaDB and connect your data from Oracle using ODBC Connect type. It's really nice. It's for you. I think it's main functions, but sometimes it's really bad. But it requires file privileges. I think it's so securely for that. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Well, let's say thank you for Ivan.